Hello guys and gals of the internet. This is Miguel of YouTube. Make sure to comment Twitch TV. I said that the wrong way around. But anyway, it's the same kind of deal, I guess. We are back with this kind of skip with angle of doing things. I'm basically just going to do probably my last kind of reactions to the E3 press conferences. What I'm going to do in this video is pretty much put Sony's and Microsoft, Nintendo's events together because number one, they were pretty much on the same day, although Sony was like 2 in the morning and Nintendo was like 6 at night, and then we'll kind of talk about it. As far as the events are concerned, there was nothing really really new to delve into. Sony in particular played it kind of really safe to a very high degree at the conference. Most of the time was spent playing instruments from dudes from like various exclusives that they were talking about, because that's all really Sony talked about. They didn't really talk about third party. It was all more about the games coming from Sony Entertainment, the exclusives, the first party games. But apart from maybe a couple, like I think Control was one. I don't think there was anything really kind of new that we didn't really know about. Most of these exclusives we kind of knew were coming out already, like The Last of Us 2, the game called Shadow of Toshiba, Marvel Spider-Man, we talked about for a bit. There was actually probably the biggest surprise came from Capcom, and you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that. But yeah, there wasn't really anything new. It was kind of underwhelming for a bit, but at the same time, the stuff we did see was very eye-catching, I'll say. For Nintendo, it was kind of the same deal. We kind of had maybe a surprise or two. One thing was totally unsurprising that I'll mention. And then the rest of the conference after that, yeah, I'll get to that. So, yeah, and you can tell by the smile on my face what I'm going to say when we get there. So let's go back to Sony. And of course, as expected, they were either going to open the show with The Last of Us or they were going to close with The Last of Us. And they opened with it. Basically, like I said, it was a guy playing his instrument for 5 minutes before we actually started getting into the footage. I'm going to say this right now. Holy fucking shit, the graphics engine from Naughty Dog. Oh my god. It is the most beautiful piece of footage I have ever seen. And I think it runs in-game, from what I'm to believe, I think it is running in the in-game engine. If that is the in-game engine to this game, then it's probably going to be better than Uncharted 4. And Uncharted 4, like I've said before, knocked it out of the park with its visual presentation. So Naughty Dog have stepped up again. I totally expected they would. I totally expected with Naughty Dog they would. And this trailer in particular focuses a lot more on Ellie. It kind of starts with her in a ballroom, I think. I don't know where she is exactly. It doesn't really say. And she's kind of just standing there. Some guy walks up to her. I don't know who it is. It's not Joel. Joel doesn't feature at all in this trailer, which I'm kind of concerned about. In a way, I'll get to that in a moment. But she's kind of just standing there, and there's this chick dancing with this guy. They stop. She comes to Ellie and then pulls her like aside, and they just have a slow dance together. Apparently, you get the instant vibe that there's something going on here. There's kind of that connection there. But I don't trust the chick. Just what she was saying was kind of like, yeah, this chick is a bit weird. It's a bit fishy. Not weird, but fishy. It's a bit like, oh, these guys should fear you and all this kind of weird stuff. It was a real kind of sinister vibe that I just didn't trust her with, and I was like, yeah, I don't trust this chick. And it's nice to see that they actually they put a bit more on Ellie as a character. If you've played Left Behind, you'll know that Ellie is she's kind of got a little thing going for her friend Riley, and they actually built upon that a little bit with this chick. But I don't even know her name or who she is or who anybody is. And like I said, Joel doesn't even feature in this footage at all. Then it cuts to the in-game, and holy shit does it take a turn. holy crap, it turns from them sharing a kiss to going round the side, round to the back of Ellie's head and coming out the other side, and the next thing you see is Ellie literally stabbing someone in the throat with a knife. I was like, what the shit? That is such a fucking, like, just a different type of event in like 3 seconds. You go from a passionate kiss to someone getting their throat cut. Like, holy shit, what the fuck? And it's very Last of Us esque, which is very, yeah, that's very like unsurprising sort of thing. But oh my god, the graphics, the lighting, the engine, the frame rate, it all seems so fluid. The motion and the movement just seems so fluid in the game. Everything moves so naturally in The Last of Us 2 at the moment. Now, I'm not sure how far in the development Sony are with The Last of Us, because there was no release date. There was actually no release date to the end of the trailer, which I was very surprised at. So that tells me that this game is definitely not coming out this year. And it may come out next year, but I think it's going to be very late next year when we see the final pieces at next year's E3. So it's like I said, Sony really just wanted to show how far the games have come, in the exclusives department rather than anything else, and they played it kind of safe in that regard, with stuff we kind of already knew about. So really all this press conference was to do, or briefing, or whatever you want to call it, was to really just show how far the exclusives have come over the last 12 months since last year's E3, or maybe even the PlayStation Experience, God forbid, because that event was complete garbage anyway. So, discount that and just say last year's E3. But the fluid motion, the facial and everything just screams Naughty Dog. It's so fluid, it's so lifelike, and I'll tell you something, if that beginning cutscene is in game engine, holy fucking shit. It's, oh my god, Naughty Dog have stepped up the bar again in terms of graphical presentation. They have literally probably the best gaming engine on the PlayStation 4 by quite some margin. And once again, Naughty Dog able to use the potential of the PlayStation 4 and maybe even PlayStation 4 Pro as well in particular. They just use it to the fullest. And there's a couple of things I really liked. Number one is that there is a prone option in The Last of Us 2. Ellie can actually go prone in the grass, which I noticed. So that's an immediate step up. Number two is that there appears to be some form of dodge mechanic. I think there is kind of one implemented, and that was another thing that really kind of was kind of maybe slightly annoying with The Last of Us 1, is you had to really be mindful of what you were doing. You just couldn't run head first and attack. You had to be more mindful because there was no real dodge mechanic. I think that's still going to be the case, but I think there's going to be a bit more of a dodge mechanic in this game, which I'm very pleased at. I'm very pleased about that because now you can kind of dodge and stuff. I think it's going to be kind of like a quick time event, like kind of time button presses or certain things. But it's nice to see Ellie kind of dodging out of the way and all that stuff, and you can kind of get your bearings from there. And there was one really cool thing where she's running towards, I think, a couple of dudes, and in one motion she runs, grabs a bottle on the side of the wall, keeps running, and slams it right into the guy's head. And it was all one fluid motion. It was all in one motion, no stops, nothing. It was all just very natural moving and very, very natural motion. It was so damn good. The Last of Us is probably, like I said, going to be even a step up from even Uncharted 4, which, like I said, the best graphical kind of masterpiece on the PS4 so far, maybe very close to Detroit, but The Last of Us 2 has stepped it up again. So it's basically The Last of Us 2 is top-notch quality from Naughty Dog, and that's all they really need to say. When you say the words Naughty Dog, top notch production. That's all I needed to do. It was just so good, from the lighting to the facials to the graphics to the kind of little even minute details of seeing that, like there was a part where Ellie's running, she takes cover in a building and she stomps and actually pulls a knife out of her shoulder, and it's like, wow, really? And it's just so damn good from Naughty Dog again. And it kind of ends with a beautiful piece with Ellie just smiling, and it's like, oh my god, Ellie is a woman. Ellie is a woman now. I would say the game is probably about maybe somewhere between 3 and 5 years after the first game, I believe it is. But Ellie, like Clementine, kind of right now, just really looks like a woman. She acts like it, she moves like it, she sounds like it. And the years have gone on Ellie, and they've done it perfectly as they would do at Naughty Dog. It's no surprise the graphical capabilities that Naughty Dog have. And once, like PlayStation said, when you're on board with PlayStation, you get the full support from them and the full use of any equipment you need to make a top-notch game. Now, some cases it hasn't worked out, like The Order. In terms that was more in terms of gameplay than graphical differences. The gameplay of The Order wasn't that tremendous. And it was a short game. But as far as graphical kind of capabilities is concerned, when you're on board with PlayStation, you have all the freedom, all the equipment, all the help you could ever get with making a game. And I think that's why Kojima went on board with them in the end. I'll talk more about Kojima's game in just a bit. So they went for an intermission for about 10 minutes. I don't think really a lot happened. I think the one thing that probably did was there was one thing I was really interested in. I think it was Control. Like they announced Control. I think it was another one and a few indie titles and PlayStation Plus games and everything. Oh, one thing they actually did, which was really funny, was a stint on Call of Duty. They did about 5 minutes on Call of Duty. There's an interesting thing here, actually, is that there's going to be 4 remastered maps throughout the Call of Duty series, the Black Ops series, that is, remastered and put into the multiplayer of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I can't remember them off the top of my head. I think Summit was one of them, and Jungle was another. I can remember those two. Firing Range was the third, and I can't remember the fourth. But not only are those 4 maps going to be in the PlayStation 4 version of Black Ops 4, but they're actually going to be in Black Ops 3 as well. And I was like, really? Wow. So not only are they going to be in Black Ops 4, they're going to be in Black Ops 3 as well. I'm not sure if they're out now. I can't get into the game PlayStation Store right now, which is rather unfortunate. Excuse me, it seems to be down for maintenance, probably with a bunch of pre-orders and downloads going on. But yeah, I thought that was actually rather interesting. Now, like I said yesterday, I'm not going to get Black Ops 4. I have no care for it at all. I might pick it up maybe sometime later, but it won't be till at least the spring of next year, because to the end of this year and towards the beginning of next year is a very hella busy time for gamers. I'll explain more about that later. So yeah, Call of Duty was mentioned. No mention of Modern Warfare Remastered 2, which means it's not coming out, or probably doesn't even exist. So all that hype is now dead, and probably to the point where no one cares. And quite frankly, I'm happy about it. I don't want to buy it. It doesn't have the if it didn't have the if rumors are true, it wasn't supposed to have the multiplayer in it, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. So if that was the case, then I'm more than happy that it's not coming out, because I'm not buying the game just to play the story. I wouldn't have bought it anyway, not even to play the story and play through it on my channel. I would not have bought it anyway unless it had the multiplayer in it. There's been no mention of it whatsoever. So yeah, those probably were just like rumors, and the whole hype is now dead because it's not been mentioned once since E3 started. So there you go. The game is now kind of gone for a while, at least for now. One thing I'll actually mention that I forgot to mention quickly was a trailer for Team Sonic Racing. Crush 40 is in the game. Oh my god, it was... Oh, I fell in love with it instantly. Oh, Crush 40 have been missing for Sonic games for so long now. Their home in terms of music is Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's just so good to see them back. Even if it's in a car spin-off game, I'm so happy about it. Seriously, that is another Sonic game soundtrack I'm going to want on my iPod. Because Crush 40 are just so good, and it's so good to see them back. Even if it is in a spin-off car racing game. So, yeah, that made me really happy and really hyped to buy the game to listen to the rest of it. Because, as you know, Crush 40 is one of my favorite bands, and whereas they're not as famous as, say, a Nickelback or Coldplay or anyone like that, to the Sonic community, they're the best band ever. There's a lot of people that are excited for the return of Crush 40, including me. So, very happy about that. I thought I'd just point that out. I'll point out quickly that I also just now, 5 seconds ago, saw the story trailer for Soul Calibur 6, which was a bit weird. It was Soul Calibur 6 again was completely omitted for the PlayStation conference. It was so weird. I know Soul Calibur 6 is multi-platform, but you would have thought Namco would have done something there, but they didn't. It was all about the first party games at PlayStation this year. So to that scene, we'll continue, and they showed the Shadow of Toshiba game. I'm not really heavily interested in it, really. Not really. It doesn't really take my fancy. I guess it could be the swordplay. It could be the fact that it's like Japanese, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really played a samurai game since Onimusha 2, so maybe I will pick it up. But if it was Onimusha 2 or Onimusha in general, I would have loved it. But no sign of the HD collection that was apparently rumored for Onimusha either, which is kind of sad. I guess Shadow of Toshiba is a lot like that, but like I said, I haven't really had a high interest in samurai games, I would say, with the only one being Onimusha 2, which I loved. Yeah, my low interest in samurai kind of stuff kind of didn't take my fancy with Shadow of Toshiba, but it's a PlayStation exclusive, so I'm probably going to get it anyway. There was nothing on Days Gone at all. I think there was like a short trailer and that was it. But a lot of people are fearing that Days Gone is just going to tank anyway. I'm going to get it. I think Days Gone is the 22nd of February, along with Kingdom Hearts and probably a couple other games that have just been announced. Yeah, people are really worried about that. I personally am probably going to buy it anyway because, again, it's a Sony PlayStation exclusive, which is some of my favorite exclusives ever. Whereas with Microsoft, it's just Halo and Gears. PlayStation has Detroit, has all Quantic Dream games, Infamous games, Crash Bandicoot games, well, until recently. PlayStation exclusives that just continue to kick ass. And, the Uncharted series being another one, Last of Us 2, Last of Us 1, Quantic Dream games, they just have so many exclusives that I love, whereas Microsoft only has really like two in Halo and Gears. So, at least for now, games like Quantum Break didn't really tickle me that. Oh, I think that was actually I think Control was actually made by Remedy, believe it or not. So who made Quantum Break. So that was quite the coup actually. So I think after that was probably the most exciting part of the entire conference for me personally, because this is a game I absolutely loved as a kid and loved going back to, and of course, I'm talking about Resident Evil 2. Yes, the remake is alive. Yes, the remake is coming out. It has a confirmed release date of January the 25th. Yes, 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 yes. I love of Resident Evil 2. I love the original. And I just love the look and feel of Resident Evil 2 right now. The remake's obviously not done, it's still being developed, but oh my god, to see Leon and to see Claire and Sherry, and I think it was a silhouette of Ada. I think Hank was actually talking at some point in the background. Oh my god, this game, it is going to be such a throwback to me. It's going to be pretty much what Silent Generations was. When that came out, but this is an actual game I adore, and it actually kind of give me an incentive to actually play the original. I am looking to play the original at some point this year before the remake comes out, so I can have both on there, because Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, with some of the best characters of all time, in just Leon, Claire, Sherry, and Ada alone, and then there's Hank. Hunk, sorry. I got that completely wrong last time. It's Hunk, sorry, my apologies. Yeah. And it kind of brought me back a little bit to Operation Raccoon City, and that game in particular, which had a lot of squandered potential, unfortunately. But I do hope that they kind of throw that in somewhere, with Hunk talking. I keep going Hank, I'm thinking Detroit. But probably they'll throw in Hunk in places. Maybe they'll throw in some homages to Operation Raccoon City and actually kind of fulfill the potential it never got to do when the game came out. That game wasn't bad, but it was very full of squandered potential, which made me really sad. You know, you base it around one of my favorite games of all time. It's a side story. It's kind of like behind the scenes, and then the gameplay is just quashes its momentum. The graphics don't really sell the game either, and it's like such wasted potential here. So, but hopefully they'll maybe throw some of that in. You know, maybe they'll throw the soldiers in or whatever, because they are kind of part of the Resident Evil 2 canon. Because I believe that is canon because of the Tyrant and all that, and Claire and Leon. So that says to me that that kind of part in the game at the end of Operation Raccoon City is probably a canon thing, and I would like to see some of that in some way. I would like to see that expanded on and given the attention I think it deserves. Oh my god, the best looking character is Leon. I think Leon is perfect. I think Leon is done. I don't think they need to do any more with Leon in terms of like his character. I think he's perfect. He's completely on point. He's the rookie cop in 1998 September, I think it is. It's just he's just perfectly done. You see Marvin. Claire is going to take a bit of getting used to because I love Claire's design from Resident Evil Revelations 2, but I can get down with it. And Sherry Birkin, as you probably would have expected, I fell in love with. I had to do a double take at first. I wasn't really sure, you know, she's there for a second. And I kind of had to pause it and really kind of put it in. But I fell in love with her anyway because I knew I would. It's going to be just how I can't wait to be her guardian again. You know, I loved Claire and Sherry's story in the original Resident Evil 2. That was a big draw to me. I kind of hope they don't lose that. You know, it's like Claire and Sherry's story was really one of the gripping parts in Resident Evil 2. If you're like me and care for characters like I do, even back then at my young age, it kind of drew me in and made me want to protect Sherry just so much. I wanted to step right in front of her and just shoot zombies and look behind me quickly just to see if she was alright. And then obviously the infection with her happens. Yeah, that really had me like on my toes trying to get the vaccine to get her and get her to safety. And I can't wait to do that again. And it's gonna be new graphics, and yeah, it's just gonna be so good to see all my old favorites again. Ada, Sherry, Claire, Leon, just some of the best characters in the Resident Evil canon, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I am wholeheartedly looking forward to that. Cannot wait for that. I think they talked something about maybe indie. I don't think they talked about indie games at all. I think they moved on to the next game, which was Death Stranding from Hideo Kojima. The whole time, I'm just sitting there like, what the hell is this game? It's obviously going to be a game that scrambles your brain in true Hideo Kojima fashion, but the guy's a legend. I'm gonna play it anyway. It doesn't really matter. The guy's a legend. He's got so much creative freedom now. I'm so glad that Hideo Kojima is now getting the respect he deserves thanks to going with Sony. He gets to do a creative vision all his own and not held back by Konami's bullshit. He's free to do what he wants, and I will play it whether I understand it or not, because I played the Metal Gear series, which was some of the most convoluted story ever, until I really grew up and started to really understand it. And I'm sure it'll take me about 5 playthroughs to finally understand this game. It looked like there was a lot of walking, which I wasn't too thrilled by. I didn't really get what the story is. The thing I would say is that I don't get what Death Stranding is trying to be. I kind of don't get it. Is it supposed to be like a Metal Gear style game? Is it supposed to be a walking simulator, as a lot of people were jokingly saying? I don't know. It kind of confuses me, really. And then at the end of it, I talked about a couple of other games, and then by the end of the conference, it was a big thing on Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this Spider-Man looks sick. I mean, I even score throwbacks to old Spider-Man games that I used to play with the Scorpion guy. I thought it was the Lizard at first. I thought, oh my god, it's Connors, and then it ends up being the Scorpion guy. I can't remember his name. And then there was Rhino, and then there was Electro, and I instantly had flashbacks to Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. So that was a really nice throwback for me. The suit looks good, the motions look great. It looks like Batman. It looks like a Batman Arkham game, except it's Spider-Man. So yeah, that's an instant buy. So yeah, so it's basically Batman Arkham City or Batman Arkham Asylum, but with Spider-Man instead. pretty much. That's what the game literally reminded me of. So yeah, it's looking pretty sick. But like I said, there's been no release dates for a lot of these exclusive. A lot of it didn't have a release date. No release date for The Last of Us 2. No release date for Shadow of Tsushima. No release date for Death Stranding. The only thing that had a release date was the DLC for COD and Resident Evil 2, the remake. That's the only thing that really had any concrete release dates. Soul Calibur 4 6, by the way, it's actually got a release date of October 19th, and Sonic Racing is winter. It's nothing really concrete yet. And that's pretty much the end of it. It was rather underwhelming from Sony, but at the same time, they really played it safe, you know. They really did play it safe, to be honest, or only showing us how far those games could come. No release dates. All the third-party stuff you probably already know about. So they really just focused on themselves and their exclusives and how much they were coming along. But The Last of Us, as expected, stole the show with just its graphical masterpiece of a game it's looking like at the moment. And the development is not even done yet. Like I once said, the one thing that worries me is Joel. He's kind of going into the background, sadly, which kind of has me worried. Because you can't really have Ellie without Joel at this point. So it's kind of, if Joel kind of gets the short straw because Ellie's now the main person, it's kind of sad because we're only going to hear Troy Baker for a very small amount of time in the game, which would really upset me because Troy Baker is one of my favorite actors. So the fact that Joel isn't really in the game since the first trailer kind of scares me a bit. They've not really talked about him. It's been much more focused on Ellie and the rival faction group of other immune infectants, as it were, I think, that's going on. I think that's probably one thing I can confirm right now, but very safe, very first-party centric from Sony, and really no surprises. I think it was just a case of Resident Evil Remake 2 Remake was the biggest surprise by far. But only because we didn't really think the game was going to exist. Because normally when they try remakes at this scale, there's nothing there. Like Final Fantasy VII, it's gone quiet since 2015, and people think the game has probably just been cancelled and started from scratch again. Some people say it's just still in development. Some people say it's just gone quiet. We don't know. Resident Evil 7 remake, from a lot of people's perspective, is probably in the shambles right now that they can't show the game. So that's unfortunate. So that's pretty much the end of Sony, really. Like I said, just playing it safe and really focusing on the first-party exclusives and how they're coming along. Nintendo was kind of the same deal, really. I mean, they started with Demon X Machina or some shit. It looks like a cross between Xenoblade and something else, like Transformers or something. And that's it. I mean, there's not really a game that interests me, so I'm not in the least bit really interested about it. But I think it was, like really heavy metal and really strange. It was a really strange trailer, but I don't think it really piqued my interest yet. Second game was it Fire Emblem Towers? I think it was. No, there was a DLC for Xenoblade 2, but I haven't even played the first Xenoblade yet, so I'm kind of stuck when it comes to that at the moment. So, there's a DLC for Xenoblade, but like I said, I've got no experience with Xenoblade at all, so I can't really tell you whether I'm looking forward to that or not. I'll probably check it out at some point if I pick up Xenoblade 2. And then it was a Fire Emblem Towers, and then there was a bunch of... Oh, and then there was this one thing which surprising to absolutely no one, guys. Fortnite has made the switch, because of course it has. No surprise. Not really interested in Fortnite. I said before, I prefer H1Z1 and PUBG gameplay wise, but it's no surprise that Fortnite has made it onto the Switch. Funny enough, it's only made it to the Switch in America at the moment. Apparently, if you live in Europe, you haven't even got the game on the Switch yet. So that's a bit weird. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it's live right now. People on the Switch are playing it, and I'm just not really interested and not really at all surprised. Like I said, I prefer H1Z1 and PUBG. So that was the end of that. And then started the best 25 minutes of my life. Oh boy. Smash Bros. Ultimate, guys. Yes. Oh my goodness me. Smash Bros. This might be the last one, considering what they're doing with it. But if it is, fucking A. Oh boy, are they going out with a bang for Smash Brothers. And let me tell you guys right now, this is not just a port of the Wii U game. This is much more than that. It's way much more than that. You can instantly tell from some of the graphic, like the parts in the game when they're showcasing the gameplay and going through the characters. You can instantly tell by the lighting, by the vibrance, by the graphics, by everything that they've. Oh my god, some of the graphics are insanely good. It's so vibrant. It looks like it's in 4K. I don't think it will be in 4K, but the 1080p visuals and the 60 frames are so smooth and so vibrant. It's insane how they've made Smash 4 into the thing they have. From Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate, the graphics, it is literally Smash on the Switch, Smash Ultimate on the Switch, is pretty much the same scenario that Killer Instinct 2013 went through at the beginning of Season 3. If you remember the beginning of Season 3, Killer Instinct 2013 had some really, like, it wasn't as major as Smash Brothers, but they kind of had made different, effects to the stages. The stages were different. And the kind of stuff was for, like when the Xbox One in 4K, with, for example. So there was an upscale to 4K. There was difference in obviously the stages and the lighting and the vibrance. So it's pretty much on the same level with Smash. Not only that, but every single character from a Smash game previously, Smash 64, Smash Melee, Smash Brawl, Smash 4. Every single Smash character is here, as they said, including Solid Snake. Oh, I lost my shit. Solid Snake is back in the Smash Bros. Game. Awesome. They kept Sonic, they kept Cloud, they kept Ryu. They brought back Wolf. They brought back the Ice Climbers, dude. Yes, the Ice Climbers, the one character I wanted in Smash 4 is now finally here. They're finally back, guys. The Ice Climbers. I just love the Ice Climbers. They're adorable. And you get Pichu and Wolf and oh my god, I was fanboying the whole time over this last 25 minutes of this conference. It was insane. And then just to add more to the game, it turns out that Daisy is a character kind of similar to Peach. She's one of these echo characters, Daisy's not officially a character, but, she's kind of like a Peach. She's like, oh, what can I say? You remember Triborg, right? You remember Triborg in Mortal Kombat X? Basically, Triborg is 3 different cyborgs. He's Sector, Cyrax, and Smoke, and even Cyber Sub-Zero. Peach is kind of like the same deal. Peach and Daisy are kind of like the same deal. Daisy is a secondary kind of slot next to Peach. You press a button and you pick Daisy instead. Or let's say, oh man, what would another game be that would do that? You press a button and it actually picks a totally different character. It would be like Ermax or like other ninja dudes, something like that. There's one game where you press a different button and you get a totally different character. I can't remember who it is. It might be I can't remember what it is. But there is one fighting game where you press a button and you actually get a different character. And Daisy is kind of that. I think Pit and Lucina. I think it's Pit and Lucina. And I think Palutena. I'm not sure. But Pit and Lucina for certain are echo characters of some sort. Where they basically have the same moves as... So basically Daisy has the same moves as Peach, but they kind of work slightly differently. That's what these echo characters are. And then they have one more character to add, and it's Ridley from Metroid. Oh shit, I was not expecting that. Ridley was kind of like one of the last person I was expecting to see in the game, and they made him fit well. He's not gigantic like he is in the Metroid series, but... Oh my lord, he's just so good, and he just fits. It's just, oh my goodness, guys, Smash Ultimate is the first game ever, to my memory, and this is discounting Sonic 3, because obviously, I wasn't really heavy into it, but ever since probably I became maybe a teenager, This is the first game that I have wanted so fucking badly. I have never in my life wanted a game this bad until now. 7th of December 2018 is when my life ends. My life ends. I am sitting in my house playing the fuck out of Smash Brothers Ultimate. It is so good. It is just like, and the character designs as well. Did I mention that? Fucking Zelda looks like a fucking, oh my god, Zelda is just like, she looks so bae in her outfit. Kind of waifu stuff. She looks so good. Ganondorf as well. Breath of the Wild Link. Mario Odyssey has his hat, like his hat from Mario Odyssey. Um, what else had like redesign? I think it was like there was changes to Sonic. I think Sonic, some of the characters had their final smashes changed. Sonic has his changed. Pichu, you get with Pikachu, you get like a female Pikachu and Pikachu Libre. What the? This game is just chock a block full of content, and in true Smash Brothers fashion, they will have like your roster will start out like the N64 game, and you will unlock characters as you progress through the game and do certain challenges. In typical Smash fashion, I love that. I'm probably going to be streaming a lot of it until I get the final, like all the characters, and then I'll do my second volume of the character medley when it comes to YouTube. I'll wait till I've got everyone and then do that. I do hope, yeah, and they've added the stages as well. There's a Splatoon stage. The stage for what was it called? Moses Island from Metal Gear. That's back. I hope they have the codec calls that they had in Brawl with Snake, and Snake is voiced by David Hayter. David Hayter is coming home to Solid Snake. Yes, brilliant. Oh my god, I fanboyed the whole time, and I do not care because this game is the shit. This is exactly what I wanted. Nintendo did exactly what I wanted them to do. I just wanted to talk to them about Smash the whole time. Now, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to calm down a little bit because this video is already gone almost a bit too long. It's going longer than I thought, and I do apologize for that. But I'm going to say this. I do understand where you're coming from if you're a Nintendo fan that isn't into Smash because there was no Metroid Prime 4, there was no new Zelda game, there was no Animal Crossing. But they said the reason they did that on Twitter, I think it came out that the reason they did that was because that those games like Metroid Prime 4, they weren't really coming out in the calendar year. Basically, they didn't really talk about those games because those games weren't coming out in this year. They're coming out next year. So we didn't think it was right to announce things that were coming next year, which makes a lot of sense. I can see that argument. I can see that. But I can also see the side from the guys that are disappointed without Metroid Prime or Animal Crossing. I can, I can kind of understand that, but it does make sense when you think about it that, they wanted to talk about stuff coming out this immediate year. One thing I did see, Dragon Ball Fighters. Oh shit! I was not expecting Dragon Ball Fighters. Not only that, it runs at 60 fucking frames per second on the Switch. Now, obviously, that's not really a surprise, but wow! I was not expecting Dragon Ball Fighters. I might even pick it up. I might even pick it up to play with my Switch buddies. But I think a lot of my people already have it on PS4, so probably not. But oh my god, that was a big surprise to me. But Nintendo did exactly what I wanted them to do. They just talked the fuck out of Smash Brothers. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I'm such a fanboy for Smash. I remember I never owned a Smash game. I wasn't really onto Nintendo for such a long time until Smash Brothers Melee when my sister owned a GameCube and bought Smash Brothers Melee for herself. That was really when I started to get on board with Nintendo. And I've just loved Smash ever since. I love the concept. And the about the Pokemon trainer and the female Pokemon trainer. Wolf is another one. Who else will they bring back? Snake. No, not Daisy. This every character from most Smash games. So Pichu, Young Link, Snake from Brawl, Sonic from Brawl, even though Sonic was in 4, the Pokemon trainer, and you even get a female Pokemon trainer. You get like free versus. Oh my god, guys, this game is just so good. There's Wolf as well. He's a fan favorite, and then to round it all off, they ended with Ridley. Oh my god. Smash was just Nintendo won E3. Nintendo won E3 literally on Smash alone. I don't say that lightly. I think they did. They won with Smash alone. It was exactly what I wanted them to do. But like I said, I understand from the people that didn't want that. They wanted they were more. They're not Smash is not really their game. They're into Metroid and Mario and other stuff like that. But for me, being just a huge fanboy of Smash, it was perfect. It was perfect for me. So wow, I'm fanboying right now. I've got to calm down. But yeah, Nintendo stole E3 this year just on Smash alone, in my opinion. Anyway, I know a lot of people will be annoyed, but like I said, guys, I have never wanted a game so badly until now, and that was with Smash Boy. Yes, Resident Evil 2 remake, and a couple other things as well, but it is nowhere near the level I wanted Smash. And the more they talked about it, the more they revealed, the more I wanted it. And now I just want it ever so fucking badly. I want December to be here right now. Seriously, because I only did 2 sets of Smash on the Wii U, so I am really going to start redeeming myself and recording and streaming the hell out of that game. I can tell you that right now. December 7th can't come soon enough. Oh, all right. I gotta calm down. I've talked for 40 minutes straight again. I did try not to make this video as long as the last one, but I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. But I sincerely now can say that this will be the last video, pretty much until the playthroughs of Detroit and Team Fusion Madness start going back up towards the end of the week. I will let you know when the PC's back, and I'm gonna go before I talk too long. So, peace out. Congratulations, Nintendo. You won E3 basically on Smash alone, in my opinion. I know it's a bit of a wild statement, but I think, like I said, I think Microsoft had the best conference overall with all their games. Sony played it really safe, but had great graphical masterpieces coming up. And Nintendo just talked all about Smash, which I wanted them to do. But I think Nintendo wins it on E3 just on the scale of Smash, in my opinion, and how much I love the series. So I think Nintendo wins E3 on that alone. But it's not by much. Like I said, I think Sony played it really safe this year. Microsoft talked all about the games for a change, and Nintendo talked about Smash, which is one of my favorite series of all time, so that's why they win. The biggest character roster since Mortal Kombat Armageddon, all the stages, all the assist trophies, and just the graphical masterpiece that that game is. Like I said, the designs of Zelda and Ganondorf are absolutely fucking dope. Yeah, man. Smash Brothers Ultimate is probably going to be the last Smash, and if it is, Sakurai, you fucking ledge. If this is the last Smash, great. I don't think we need a Smash after this one, because this is the combination of every single one, and Sakurai just did it again, didn't he? Sakurai, I will say this for one final word. Sakurai made a game that Iwata would be immensely proud of. You've done him proud, Sakurai. Thank you very much from all Nintendo fans and all Smash fans from me. Thank you very much for that. You made Iwata proud tonight, this afternoon with your conference and your game. You made Iwata very proud tonight. I can say that. Rest in peace, my man. Alright guys, so I'm going to go. Sorry for this video being longer than I anticipated, but there was a few things to really talk about there, but I promise that this will be the last video of this length, and playthroughs will resume pretty much at the end of the week when I get my PC back. So, hope you enjoyed it, even though it is long. Playthroughs will resume at the end of the week, hopefully. I will let you guys know. Thank you for watching these 2 videos of E3 coverage. I thought I'd get it out there. And I will see you back at the end of the week for the return of Detroit Become Human and Team Fusion Madness, should my PC return in that kind of manner. So I'll see you all for the return of those series I'm doing. Thank you for listening to me for around almost 2 hours of worth of video. I'm sorry this one went a bit longer than expected, but Smash just made me fanboy the entire time. Alright guys, I'm going to go. Sorry. But hope you guys enjoy the rest of your time. Enjoy the rest of E3, whether you're there in the conference rooms playing those games. Hope you enjoy yourselves. I'm Simon Chaos. I'm signing off. Detroit and Team Fusion Madness will resume as soon as possible. Peace out. See you later. Stay awesome, folks.